Hello, today we're going to be talking about parenting using a wheelchair. Please take a moment to pause the video and read our disclaimer. In this video, we'll talk about items that are available on the market today that you'd be able to purchase if you are expecting a child or have a child already, or if you're an aunt or an uncle and you just want to be able to assist with child rearing tasks. And that being said, none of the items that we'll go over would be applicable to all spinal cord injury levels. We'll go over some general tips and recommendations from parents who use wheelchairs and are living with a disability, as well as from the research. Parenting statistics: there are 4.1 million parents with disabilities in the United States. And that can be both physical and cognitive disabilities. And that means that 1 in 10 children have a parent that identifies as having a disability. Factors that impact parenting: the age of a child at time of injury. So if you already have children, how old are they? If you don't have children but would like children in the future, that definitely can impact the challenges that you may or may not face. Your support system, so who do you have with you? Your significant other, friends or family nearby, other caregiver supports, your community, and where you live. So more rural areas may not have as many accessible playgrounds or accessible transportation, and things that might impact your ability to interact and go to different venues and things with your child. And then the layout of your home. So depending on how your home is designed, if all of the children's bedrooms are upstairs, that's going to make it a little bit harder. If you're able to live on the main level, thinking about what accommodations would need to be made and how could that work for you. Please take a moment to scan this to view our Nielsen Rehab Hospital Community Resource Library. Under the Parenting and Sex section, there are many resources. There's videos. You can see our full parenting resources, as I mentioned here. Our Trails program, which is also listed on the website, has some great opportunities to meet other parents or people who are interested in becoming parents and have a spinal cord injury. We have peer health coaches that you can be set up with through our social worker. Social media: we can't underestimate the value of people just sharing their own stories and showing what they're up to and showing how they're raising their kids and how they're adapting. And then your occupational therapists. In both in and outpatient therapy, you can have new goals or current goals of, hey, I want to be able to figure out how could I do this aspect of parenting. I want to make my kids lunch, or I want to be able to tolerate sitting up so I can go to their basketball game. There's different things and adaptations. And if you are or become pregnant, occupational therapists can also be very helpful in those situations as well, as far as adaptations and getting you more independent with those tasks. Some of the greatest challenges identified with mothers with physical disabilities with young children were bathing, nighttime care, and carrying the baby. And so some of the solutions are wearable baby carriers, which we'll go into, and help from others. So being okay asking for help it takes a village, as they say. And then furniture adaptations can be a good solution. So here are the products that can be really helpful, primarily for if you are taking care of or helping care for an infant or toddler. A boppy, it doesn't have to be this brand, but a similar shaped pillow can be really helpful with positioning. It can be helpful for bottle or breastfeeding. They even have some that you can attach a strap to the back so it can kind of stay in place behind you in the chair. A bumbo seat can be helpful. You can put the tray in front to help the baby with their own self-feeding. Or if this is placed on a higher surface, such as a bar stool, it can be more eye level with the baby, but it's secured both to the bar stool as well as they're buckled in. Cozy newborn carrier. This is just an example of a carrier that can be really helpful when the baby is small, and very wide straps can be helpful for keeping that skin protected. A hip baby seat carrier. This one is nice because it has the ability to remove the strap that's securing the baby, so they can easily go in and out and do that from a seated position. The Ergo Baby 360. Once again, we are not sponsors of Ergo Baby, but they have a lot of good products that vary in price. But this can be a great way to have the baby secured if you're able to push your own wheelchair. A leash for children. This can be controversial, but really, if you think about the child's safety being number one, if you are at a playground and they're running towards the street and you're not able to catch them quickly enough, or if you're at an amusement park, really thinking about their safety and having a way to quickly get them back to you is important. Strollers. The Duna car seat stroller, the black one listed or shown on the bottom, is currently available and is a very popular car seat and stroller for parents parents with disabilities as well as those who don't have disabilities, because it is so convenient that it converts directly from being a car seat to being a stroller. That has been a popular option. The other option that is shown here was more of a prototype. It has not come to market yet. A swivel-based car seat is a really great option for being able to better easily buckle in a child and take them out of the car seat. When they're forward-facing, it makes it pretty challenging. The Unbuckle Me is an inexpensive device that can help a child be able to unbuckle their own car seat once you've parked, in case you have decreased grip strength. This is a very expensive option, and so I would just recommend this only if your insurance would cover it. But I do know that people have modified cribs themselves to adapt them in similar ways. The Pedialift actually raises and lowers, so it's a little bit more robust. There are bassinets that have side openings, which can be really great for ease of access to the child when they're in this infant stage. Other tricks are rolling under a desk or a table so that it's easier to change a diaper instead of having a traditional changing table that wouldn't allow for rolling under. So now we're going to pivot and talk about research tips and insights from other individuals with spinal cord injuries, as well as research. Insights and tips for individuals living with spinal cord injury. Parents find that many of the challenges are going to parallel the challenges and rewards of typical parenting. They find that they are more creative. They encourage communicating with your child about your disability when they ask questions, finding parks, places, restaurants that are accessible for you to go as a family. Safety proofing your house. This is a big one. If you think about, if you're not able to yourself physically get down and stop a child from putting their finger in a power outlet, making sure you've got those covers on so that the child doesn't get hurt. And if you're not able to go down, if there are stairs in the home and you're not able to do the stairs, making sure there's gates to prevent them from going down the stairs, and then being involved with school as you're able to. And it might look different than before if you had children before, but going and volunteering and participating as you're able to. Other insights for your children: they have found that they can be more creative, they can be stronger, they feel like the wheelchair is invisible, so they really just see you as a parent. They don't see you as somebody who uses a wheelchair. It's just your mobility device. People have reported that they feel like their children are more mature, and I can attest that children love getting rides on laps. So being aware of your skin and how long, that extra pressure and weight's on there, but definitely a popular thing is to give rides. Additional tips from individuals living with spinal cord injury is let them know you love them just as you normally would, coaching them when possible. So you can, use your knowledge to share that even if you're not physically doing it the same way as they are. Some people find that parenting can be harder when their children are younger, but I think that may reflect typical parenting as well. One individual made the statement that it made them feel like a better parent in many ways, which I think is powerful. Minimizing conflicts, so really recognizing what's important and what's not important and trying to let the small stuff go. That's similar to understanding a child's needs versus their wants. Your child needs to have food for lunch, but they might want to have matching socks. And so, what really matters. And letting the small stuff go, similar to minimizing conflicts. But one mom gave an example of, my child spilled milk all over the floor. I can't pick it up. It's very frustrating. And so, working with your child for them to clean up their own mess, or some people will do a service dog, or relying on your support system, and figuring out what options you have to kind of minimize some of the things that aren't as important in the big picture. Some of the research for parenting and children. One study from Buck and Holman in 1981, which I know was a while ago, found that normal development in all areas for children of parents with disabilities, including personal adjustment, body image, athletic interest, interpersonal relationships, parent-child relationships, and the value and attitudes towards others. Other research found that there is more fluid and flexible family roles, that the social environmental factors were greater barriers than the disability itself. There was a desire for greater public awareness from the children, Children found meaning and satisfaction being part of the disabled community. Not to mean that all of your friends now need to have a spinal cord injury or be disabled, but that there is really a great community out there. Children of parents with a disability are also found to have average to better than average development, enhanced coping skills, enhanced problem-solving skills, better acceptance of differences, more positive attitudes towards disability. They learn the value of family and friends earlier in life. They find more humor in things. They have an increased perspective on life. There's more compassion. I think this is a pretty incredible list to really reflect on, that the children are able to adapt and learn so much and have really great outcomes when being raised by a parent with a disability, as well as being more resourceful. The key takeaway is ultimately parenting is about loving, guiding, caring, and nurturing, disability status set aside. Take that to heart as you think about what it might look like to parent with a spinal cord injury. Please let us rehab educators know what questions you have. Thank you so much for watching.